Lidia Thorpe has done what Lidia Thorpe does over the weekend, but has she gone too far this time? Joining me live now is the Nationals leader, David Littleproud. She's an independent senator, of course, so she can't be sanctioned by a party. She's a former Green, but she is a senator. She is representative of our democracy. Is there any backlash here that could see her actually punished in some way, David?
Well, I think we should explore that. Lidia Thorpe's not a fit and proper person to represent the Australian people in that parliament. You don't, in any workplace, go forward and say that you threaten to burn down the establishment in which you live, a symbol of our democracy. The building that she's talking about, our Parliament House, does symbolise our democracy and our freedoms that she's allowed to use unabated, and it faces one of the most sacred buildings in the country, in the War Memorial, to remind us of the sacrifice that over 100,000 Australians have made to give her that privilege and that honour to be able to speak freely. But with that comes responsibility, and with it comes a greater responsibility if you're in the Australian Parliament. This is her business model. She's a fringe element that's looking for notoriety, but this is a step too far. This is something that not any cogent Australian would make about their own workplace, but particularly the building that represents the freedoms of this great country that has been hard fought by over 100,000 Australians in making that ultimate sacrifice, and many more prepared to do that in the past and today.
Yeah, it seemed quite perverse to me, threatening to burn down a symbol of the democracy that she represents and was voted there to be in the name of a cause that's half a world away. What is your view on how we should be treating this? Because I think this is too serious to ignore, but I do understand the other side of the argument that says we shouldn't be giving her the attention that she obviously wants.
Yeah, and just appreciate that Lidia Thorpe's railing against the democracy that's given her freedoms, but it's also paying her every fortnight. She's very happy to take that pay. But I do think the Parliament should look at this. This isn't the standard that all 226 of us should set. We've been given a privileged position that many Australians would love to have, to go to Canberra and to represent the Australian people and to make our country better, and to bring a cause that's not even relevant here to domestic politics, one in which she is side by side with the Green movement. Just understand, while she's no longer a member of the Greens, she was a member of the Greens, and the Greens today are not your average cute, cuddly, tree-hugging Green anymore. These are extremists, and Lidia Thorpe is just an offshoot of that. And the reality is that it is time for us to set a standard in the Parliament, to actually say to the Australian people, the standard you walk past is the standard you accept, and we should not walk past what Lidia Thorpe has done or said here. She has a long litany of this, but this has gone too far. This is her business model, but when the business model becomes that desperate, that unhinged, that you start making threats of this nature, then I think the Parliament has a responsibility to stand up and to explore every avenue to make sure that a strong message is sent to Lidia Thorpe and any other fringe dweller that wants to actually destroy the very standards of our democracy, that the ultimate sacrifice has been made by men and women stronger and more courageous than us.
To my knowledge, the only thing available to the Parliament, though, is a censure motion. Is that all? Well,
those are obviously avenues that I think the coalition will obviously explore, and we'd like to think that the government would as well. They've been somewhat silent in this whole fiasco. They are the ones that are meant to set the standard. They control both the Senate and the House of Representatives, and they should be a very strong message sent, and we should do that collaboratively and collectively across the aisle to make sure a very strong message is set that we are going to make sure that the standard that the Australian people expect of their elected officials is lived up to. And whatever consequence we have available to us at the moment should be explored. And then beyond that, as a Parliament, we should understand what our responsibilities are and what consequences are. But hopefully the Victorian people will be ashamed of what Lidia Thorpe has done and has just done, and will give the ultimate consequence to Lidia Thorpe, and that's boot her out at the next election.
I think a number of ministers, Labor ministers, have spoken out about this today, but I tell you who has been silent, the Greens, absolutely. I haven't heard one of them condemn this at all. Be interesting to see what the Greens leader has to say, or leaders have to say. But I just quickly want to ask you about... Yeah, please.
I just suspect that the Greens are wanting to court her to bring her back. But as I say, this isn't the old Greens party of the past, your cute, cuddly, tree-hugging variety. These are extremists. They won't stand in front of the Australian flag. They stand with CFMEU thugs. And the reality is they want to perpetrate hate in this country by importing a foreign conflict and the hatred that permeates around that into the streets of our country. This isn't your cute, cuddly Green anymore, and Lidia Thorpe is just an offshoot of it, and Australia should send a very strong message to them at the next election, both Lidia Thorpe and the Greens.
Okay, just quickly, did you read the polling this morning? Do you want to make any comment about where Susan Lee's at the moment, or where the coalition is? What do we read into it?
Oh look, this is a matter for the Liberal Party. I mean, obviously, it's a reflection of the fluid nature in which the Liberal Party has been acting over the last month, and as far as I'm concerned, all I can do is control
the fluid nature.
All I can do. All I can do,
if I've
Laura.
ever heard one, David. Do you mean the navel gazing, perhaps?
Well, I think it's important that the Liberal Party starts to focus on the Australian people, not themselves. And I said that last week, and I'll say it again.
Okay.
All I can control is what's happening in the National Party. But until we're focused on the Australian people, they won't be interested in listening from the Liberal Party. And we just hope that at some point we start focusing on them and showing them what this Labor government is doing to them and their wallets.
Fluid nature. I like it. David, we'll see you soon.
A new one for you, Laura.
A new one. That is a new one for the lexicon, absolutely. David Littleproud there, joining us every Monday.